Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Thanksgiving dinner is a very serious event. It causes stress among the most hardened, bravest cooks in our society. So I'm going to spend a few minutes telling you some things that I learned when I was a telephone operator for the Butterball Turkey Talk Hotline. You think I'm teasing, don't you? Google it, Turkey Talk Hotline. 1-800-Butterball. That's the Turkey Talk Hotline, and they're open on Thanksgiving Day. The first thing that's important when you get into the kitchen is to be properly attired. The better attired you are, the better your guests are going to like your food. So over the years, I have collected a few things that my sons, when they were a lot younger than they are now, fixed for me. The first thing is an apron. This particular apron says "Kiss the Cook." I think it says "Kiss the Cook." You have to have an apron on. Kiss the cook. Kiss the cook. So my now 23-year-old made this when he was about 7. The older one made one too, but I couldn't bring it over because it had some words on it that are not G-rated. See if I can tie this behind me. A couple of years later, they gave me a chef cap. Got to have a chef cap. If it doesn't have a Velcro, it's not a real chef cap. So let's see if I can. You put it on like a bra. See, there we go. So once you are properly attired, you are ready to work in the kitchen. I'm going to start by telling you some of the people that I talked to when I worked for the Butterball Turkey Talk Hotline. Before I start, though, I would like my evaluator, if I ever use the word butter, I want you to close your ears. So he says, we all know as somewhat of a nutritionalist, and well, butter is not a very nutritious nor healthy food to eat. And I will use the word butter a number of times in my speech tonight. So if you would, please cover your ears when you hear the word butter. Put those fingers over your practice that butter. The first thing that I want to tell you about is that you have to go through a year's worth of training before you can become a Butterball Turkey Talk Hotline operator. So I did. I went to school night and day. I slaved over books. I slaved in the kitchen. I learned everything there was to know about thawing turkeys, about roasting turkeys, how not to drop them in hot grease like some people do. I learned about dressing. I learned everything there was to know about Thanksgiving Day. So that when people called and asked questions, hello, Turkey Talk Hotlines, this is Stan, may I help you? I could answer their questions accurately and honestly. The first call I got, a lady from Colorado, she says, I just don't know what to do. I didn't have enough room in my refrigerator. I brought my turkey home, it was frozen. So instead of putting it in the freezer, I just put it in one of the snowbanks out in the front yard. And then last night, it snowed another 12 inches and it blew real hard, and all the snow is not where it was when I put the turkey in the yard. How do I find my turkey? That was my first call on the job. I said, ma'am, first, don't worry about it. I said, what city do you live in? She said, Denver. I said, oh, good. I said, Denver has a big enough police department to have a crime scene investigation unit. I said, call the police department and ask them to bring out what they call a ground penetrating radar so that they could run this radar over the snow. What the police use it for is to find dead bodies that have been buried in the dirt. But in this case, I suggested that she use it to find her turkey buried in the snow. She liked that idea. She left. She hung up. I had lots of calls like that. Now, I'm going to get to reality now. Several days ago, I was talking to one of our fellow members, one of our Toastmasters, one of our younger members. Not quite as young as this young member, but almost. And he was saying that he's got 10 relatives coming in from out of town. He's never done Thanksgiving by himself before. His wife is 8 months pregnant. And so it's all going to fall on him. And so I said, fellow Toastmaster, fresh or frozen? And he said, frozen. And I said, do you know how many days it's going to take to unfreeze that turkey? He says, no, Sam, I don't. And I said, okay. I went back to my Butterball telephone talk line hotline training, and I learned that you thought 1 day in the refrigerator for every 4 pounds of weight. So a 12-pound turkey should thaw for 3 days in your refrigerator. I also learned that the hard way the first time that I cooked turkey. I had to get a blowtorch out there because it was like 20 minutes before I was going to put it in the oven, and it was rock hard. So then it got me to thinking that I really needed to help my friend. So I have invited my friend to come over to my house on Tuesday, and I'm going to teach him how to make my signature dish for Thanksgiving. Because one of my theories is you don't have to do everything perfect. You just have to do one thing really, really well. And then you can't burn the turkey either. My signature dish is cornbread dressing. So I said, fellow Toastmaster, you can pretend this is yours. Sneak over to my house during the day. Nobody will know any difference. We'll make up a big batch of this, put it in a 9 by 13 dish, and you take it home, put it in your refrigerator, and your wife will go, where did this come from? And all you have to say is, honey, while you were sleeping last night, I came in and prepared the cornbread dressing. All we have to do is put it in the oven for 45 minutes and it'll be done. So my friend hopefully will take me up on that offer to help make that first Thanksgiving with his in-laws work out well. A few other little pointers. Keep your guests out of your kitchen. Send them into the other room, watch parades, all the floats, watch football, but keep them out of your kitchen. That way, close your eyes, Miss Evaluator, or close your ears. That way they can't see that. To hide any imperfections in your food, you just put tons and tons of butter on it. Because we all know that butter makes anything taste really, really good. That's a rule. So it's like making sausage. Nobody really wants to see what's in sausage. Well, you don't really want your guests to come into the kitchen and see. Another thing is to make as many things you can ahead of time. Use condiments like olives out of a can. We have a lot of little foods around that don't require preparation. Do those kinds of things a day or two in advance, and you're in good shape. My last piece of advice is for the guy who thinks he's going to be Mr. Macho and deep fry his turkey in one of these outdoor fryers. My only piece of advice is to Google these words: fryer, fire, William Shatner. Those 4 words. Fryer, fire, William Shatner. You do that and you'll have all of the safety talk that you need before you deep fry your turkey. That concludes today's cooking lesson with Sam. I hope you've all enjoyed it. You're all welcome to come over and make pancit and cornbread dressing on Tuesday night. Lisa's going to skip out. She thinks she's going out of the state, but hey, you're lost. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster.